Okay, so quick video for you guys today. We're going to be taking a look at the new controller board from Fysetc. This is the Spider, and this is a brand new controller board that is now out and available, and it's designed with the Voron V2 in mind. So before we even open the box, first thing you're going to notice, this isn't a generic brown cardboard box. This actually, so it's like a motherboard box. This looks like, something you would see on a shelf in a store. This is actually some packaging. Fysetc Spider for Voron design, Fysetc X Voron. So a little bit of backstory on how this board came to be. Fysetc was developing this board, and they contacted the Voron design development team before putting this board out and said, hey, we're making this board. Do you guys want to take a look at it? Do you have any comments or whatever? And the team, well, those on the team that knew what they were doing, I am not one of those people, made some suggestions, some critiques, and gave some advice on what they should change, what they should switch around on the board, and this is the final outcome. We did not know they were going to be doing this, so it's kind of cool to see. But this was all on their own. So on the back of the box, we have some links. Well, you can type these in, do some documentation. There's the side, and this is the Spider 446. That is the type of MCU on it, version 1.0, and that is it. So unfortunately my box got a little bit crushed during shipping, but I've already opened this up and everything inside is okay. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So the first thing you're going to notice is the actual packaging. It's quite a bit of foam in here, and everything came all nice and packaged up, nice and tight. Nothing was loose and flopping around. Now again, I've already opened this up, so some things are already unpackaged. But let's take a look at what's included. So, you do have the choice of what stepper drivers come with it. I went with the 2209s, and I have 8 of them. Now these are labeled as the S2209V 3.1. These are Fysetc boards. And the chips do say TMC 2209 LA, Germany. So it does come with 8 of the stepper of your choice. You do have the option of getting it without steppers if you already have them. I also have the heat sinks. We have a USB-C cable. Now, the controller board itself, the MCU, doesn't actually support USB 3.0. So this is USB 2.0 over a USB-C connection. But I do like the USB-C connection. You don't have to worry about having it in the right orientation, but this is only going to be running at USB 2.0 speeds, so don't be trying to fast charge your phone with this, but it's going to be running Klipper, so speeds aren't really an issue. And lastly, we have the controller board itself, and I'll dive into this with more depth in a second here. Now, what's not included is any sort of connectors. So if you are doing a printer build, and you don't already have connectors on hand, you're going to have to get some up. So either you're going to have to source a pre-made wire loom with connectors already on it, or you're going to have to pick yourself a connector kit up. And this is the board itself. So as you can see, it looks a little bit different than most controller boards out there. It has a ton of connectors and hookups, and we'll go through and I'll touch onto the main ones. So just for a quick comparison, this is the Fysetc Spider, and this is comparing it to the stock Ender 3 board, just so you can get a size comparison of the board itself. So it's only a little bit wider, but it is much longer. There's no connectors on the back, just some branding, labeling, callouts for what the pins are. And one thing you can notice, it looks very clean. There's really not a lot of flux. The board's nice and clean. I'm not seeing any bad solder joints or anything anywhere. The quality of the board is higher than I'm used to seeing off AliExpress boards. So I'm actually really impressed with this board, just on appearances. So we'll start off on this end, work our way across. So you're going to see this big bank of connectors here. And what these connectors are for is for multiple hot ends and the bed. So you have your power in, and this board can take up to 28 volts, although most of you are going to be running it at 24 volts. You also have a bed in connector, and a bed out connector. And then we have 3 extruder connectors. Now, depending on how your setup is, you could run 4 extruders if you weren't running a heated bed, or you can run 4 extruders and a heated bed controlled with a solid state relay using another available pin to control the SSR. So theoretically, you can run with 4 hot ends with this controller. You can see here we have 2 replaceable 20 amp fuses, and these are for your main power in and for your bed in to protect those circuits. So in the event that you pop something, hopefully it is the fuse, and that is easily replaceable. At the top here, we have this long bank of connectors here, and this is for your step sticks. This can take 8 step sticks. So they are labeled X, Y, to Z, but they are paired onto one stepper, and then extruder 0 to extruder 4. Now, in your software configuration, you can go ahead and configure these however you like. So on a Voron V2, for example, you would have your X and Y would be your AB motor on a Core XY setup. You would have 4 of these as your Z motors, and then you would have an extruder motor. And then you would have 1 free motor that you could use for another extruder, for example. This is a good board too as well for any type of tool changing setup or any other sort of printer setup where you need 8 motors or 8 step sticks available. Coming down here, we do have our SD card, and right across from here is actually a breakout for the SD card. So if you're running a setup that you want to have a SD card reader somewhere else, you're running Marlin, for example, you could have a SD card breakout connected here and then run the actual connector to, say, the front of your printer. Again, we have our USB-C connector, and this is not USB 3.0, this is just a USB 2.0 connector in a USB-C package. And then also this white connector here is also another USB connector. So if you don't want to use the USB-C and you want to use a locking connector type, you could break out a USB here as well. We have a 5-volt RGB connector here. So if you want to hook up a RGB LED strip, that's 5 volts. You can use these pins here. We have our expansion 1, expansion 2 ports. This, of course, is for connecting a screen such as the Mini 12864. Above that right here, this is a CAN bus connector. So you can hook up CAN bus add-ons to this board directly without the need of a separate breakout board. Now down here we have our temperature sensors for the 3 hot ends and the bed. So there are only a total of 4 temperature sensors on this bed. If you need more than 4, you are going to need an additional board. But as you can notice here, the temperature sensors for the 3 hot ends, they are 3-pin. You do have the option of using a PT100 with this board. So that is possible. You don't need a separate breakout board or add-on board to use a PT100 instead of your standard thermistor type like the Beta 3950 that a lot of people use. Above that, you have your end stops. Now these jumpers are already installed from the factory like this. This is for sensorless homing. So if you are going to be using traditional end stops, you're going to have to remove these. Also, this Z end stop here has the option of plugging in your PL08 or PL05 type inductive probe directly to that. There is a basically BAT85 diode already in this circuit on the board, so you don't need to do any additional soldering or adding a BAT85 diode to your inductive probe. You can just plug it directly into this board and it'll do the voltage drop for it to work correctly without shorting out your probe. So that's a nice little feature to make the setup and installation much simpler. Across here we have our 3 CNC fans. Now these are for running some LEDs, and you have the option of selecting either 12 or 24 volts for powering them with this little jumper here. But also, you can use these to control 4 more fans at either 12 or 24 volts. So if you want to run your hot end fans, for example, at 24 volts, but you have some nice quiet Noctua fans for your electronics cooling, and those are 12 volts, you can run those 12 volt fans off here, and these fans at the 24 volt. And also don't forget, any unused hot end circuits can be used to control a fan as well. So you can really load this board up with controllable fans. And these are all controllable. These aren't just simple always on fan connectors. Now right smack dab in the middle of the board here, you can see this little block of pins here. It's labeled Pi Power and UART. What this board has that I haven't seen any other controller board like this have is a built-in 5-volt relay with enough amperage to power a Raspberry Pi. So what that means is you can power your full-size Raspberry Pi 4 off of this controller board without needing a separate power supply or buck converter. The board itself can do that. And there's an available UART connection right next to it, so you can plug your Raspberry Pi into here, completely skipping the USB connection completely if you wish to do so. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little first look at the Fysetc Spider board. It will be a little bit of time before I actually get this installed and up and running in my machine. This will actually be installed in my V2.4, V226. It's in need of an upgrade. I'm going to be redoing the wiring on it, swapping out to a LGX based tool head instead of the old Beta Afterburner from a year and a half ago I'm still running. Now when it comes to doing a full review of this board later on, the review will focus on the board itself and its functionality and its ability to deliver on its features. I won't really be reviewing print quality with this board because let's face it, it's a 32-bit board with TMC 2209s running Klipper. The actual print quality will guarantee to be pretty much the same as any other 32-bit board with TMC 2209s running Klipper. Your slicer profile and the printer itself will have a much bigger impact on print quality than the type of 32-bit controller board you are running in your printer when you are running Klipper. However, the fact that this board is so feature-packed and it is a single board solution means that we have a very good potential winner on our hands here. So I am much looking forward to installing this board, testing it out, and going forward, I see great things coming from this board. So to make sure you follow along with the progress with this board and my other projects, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you enjoyed the video today, make sure you like that smash button. And if you want to help support the things I do and the content I create, I do have the links in the description as well for that. I hope you learned something new today, and as always, hope you have yourself a great day. Thank you.